25 years to life if Eve's convicted. I have to get her out of here. Sergeant, excuse me. How long does it usually take for one's bail to be set?
For felony suspects in general, or Dr. Russell in particular?
Well, what's the difference?
Public opinion. Take a look at this.
Oh, my God.
Not even a crook like Judge Riley will be anxious to set bail for a triple attempted murder suspect.
How could things get any worse?
You haven't been in touch with your sister lately, have you, Mr. Crane?
No, not since early last evening. Why?
You may want to look at the bottom half of that page.
Marriage of Sheridan Crane and Luis Lopez Fitzgerald was postponed due to the unexpected appearance of the bride's mother, Catherine Crane. My mother's alive. Sheridan's wedding was postponed due to the unexpected appearance of Catherine Crane. That's not right. My mother's dead. I remember the morning Father told me she died. I was at a funeral. I remember seeing her coffin interred in the Crane mausoleum. This is... My mother's dead. This cannot possibly be. Luis, do you... Is this true? Is my mother alive? Oh, my God.
You didn't know?
No, I've been consumed with trying to help Eve fight the charges against her. I had no idea.
Yeah, I grew up thinking Catherine was my grandmother. To find out that she was alive, it shocked me, too.
But how? How could my mother still be alive?
Well, I think you should ask her that. She's staying at the B&B with my father.
I don't understand.
Thing is, your mother and my father ran off together all those years ago.
You say Mrs. Wheeler is my mother, Catherine? My God. When I first saw Mrs. Wheeler, I thought she was my mother, but she looked so different. I couldn't... It was wishful thinking.
Yeah, well, see, the both of them had a lot of plastic surgery.
Yes, but her eyes were just as I remembered them, and there were other things. But I couldn't conceive.
That your mother would leave you and Sheridan at Alistair's mercy and head south with my father?
Well, they must have had good reason for what they did.
Excuses. Reasons, well, Sheridan and I aren't buying them, and neither is my mother.
But why did they say they left?
Who knows? I think you should ask her that.
I will.
By the way, Julian, tell Catherine to stay the hell away from Sheridan.
No!
Sounded like Gwen.
Sheridan's with her.
Art. Julian.
Mother.
Yes, Julian, I'm your mother.
Is this really you?
Julian, it's really me.
I missed you so much.
I missed you.
I can't believe that you're here, that you're alive again after all these years.
Well, your sister was shocked too. Everyone was.
When you first came back, you were very familiar. I mean, your voice, your eyes,
Martin and I had plastic surgery after we left Harmony.
I can't believe I didn't put it together sooner.
I wanted you to so much. But I was afraid. I was afraid that you would hate me for deceiving you.
What are you talking about? I mean, having you here, feeling your touch again, looking at the love in your eyes. This is the happiest, most confusing moment of my entire life.
I missed you and Sheridan so much. You know, it seems just like yesterday I was telling her to stop teasing her so much.
I fear I did far worse. But those hateful, horrible days are over. I love my sister far too much to ever hurt her again.
I'm afraid that I've hurt her very much. She's very angry with me for having left her.
Well, I was angry too. I thought that I would die when you died. I so hated you for leaving us.
How could you not hate me? What mother leaves her children at the mercy of a father like that? I thought at the time that if I left, you and Sheridan would be spared his fury. Instead, he took all his anger at me out on you and Sheridan. And on Martin's family, too.
I was angry because you weren't in our lives anymore, but I really didn't blame you. I blamed Father for your death. I thought his years of cruelty had finally taken their toll.
They had. Alistair's screaming and yelling and gone to slapping and hitting and finally to rape.
Oh, my God.
More than once.
How terrible for you.
It was terrible. Martin knew how abusive that Alistair was to me, but he had no idea how abusive he was until one day he caught him, Alistair, forcing himself on me, and Martin got your father to back off, but right then his fate was sealed. If we hadn't have left town when we did, Alistair was going to kill us both. I know it sounds very self-serving now, but then...
I am not here to judge you. In recent years, I've come to understand that people usually believe they have good reason for what they do. Let me tell you, as a child, you taught me to be kind and giving and loyal and loving. And then after your death, those things that you taught me were the very things Father forced me to renounce. I denied what I knew to be good and true in order to survive. And it wasn't until I met a remarkable young man named Timmy that I was reminded what it was like to be kind and giving. Timmy was small of stature, but he had a huge heart overflowing with love.
This person who meant so much to you, is he gone?
Yes, he is, but his spirit lives on in all of us who are fortunate enough to know him.
God bless this Timmy. And you, Julian. God bless you for understanding why I had to leave you in Sheridan. Thank you.
I'm glad you ran. And I'm even happier that you found your way back home again.
Oh, Julian. I am so relieved that at least one of my children is glad to see me.
I would have given anything for you to be part of my life these past few years, but I do understand why you left. I mean, Father is a cruel, horrible man. He drove you away, and then he drove me to drink and to drugs and anything to numb the pain that he caused.
I'm so sorry. I just felt I had to go or he was going to kill all of us, and Martin too.
Well, it seems that Luis is not very accepting of the reasons that you left.
Luis, he certainly is not. Luis thinks that I seduced Martin away from his family, that it's my fault that Martin left his family in such dire straits, but that wasn't how it was, Julian. We weren't in love back then. We were in fear for our lives.
I'll talk to Luis. I'll make him understand.
Martin and I tried, but we failed.
Luis will come around. Right now, all I care about is your I see that you've packed to move home to the mansion.
Julian, Martin and I are going to leave Harmony as soon as he comes back from seeing Pilar.
What do you... No, I won't hear of that.
We have to go, Julian. Alistair is going to kill me. And he tried to force himself on me again.
God, I thought he was still in a coma from being poisoned.
So did I. But he arrived here wanting me to perform my wifely duties.
That monster.
Oh, it really doesn't matter. I'm really fine. Martin saved me again. But we don't know what Alistair is up to next.
I will not let Father hurt you anymore.
You know, it's not just your father who hates me. Sheridan hates me too. She thinks that I stole Martin away from his family.
Well, I'll speak to Sheridan. I'm sure that I can get her to forgive you.
I appreciate that more than you know. But it won't work.
Well, it has to. I lost you once. I want you back in my life to spend time with, to talk to. You have grandchildren, to meet a great-grandchild on the way. Oh, now you have to stay. Make us a family again. Mother, don't worry about Sheridan. We're quite close these days, much as you remember us. I'll speak to her.
No, you can't.
But she's neither cold-hearted nor unreasonable. When I make her understand how unbearable your life was with Father, how hateful and cruel he was, she'll forgive you for leaving us. I'm sure she will.
Julian, don't say a word to Sheridan. I want her to hate me with every fiber of her being.